What I want to do is show you how to use this website. The name of it is CADWork Live. Now, this website allows you to do graphic designing. So we use it to create graphics for t-shirts and caps. And so let me show you how this works. And this website here, it doesn't cost anything, and all you need is a web I mean not a website. All you need is a email address and a password. They don't send you in the spam or anything. The only thing they're going to send you is a verification when you first sign up. So once you sign up, you will log in, and then you will go to here where it says design, and then you will go to launch design. Once you click on launch design, this window will open up. Now, everything you see in this window here is also over on this left side drop down. So let's say that you are working on something at home, and then you wanted to go to another location and you wanted to open it up. You have a file. So if you click on file, it would open up all the work that you have been working on. We're going to close this. I just want to show you how you can get to your files that you have already worked on. So I'm going to close this. Now, this is everything you were seeing in that little small box when this first opened up. You have your text. If you click on text, you can go in here and you can, let's just type in Dallas. Once you type in your text, you can change the type of font that you have. And on this computer, there are 6 pages of font. So we're going to just state, well, you know what, let's just select one. We will select this font here. We will open it, and it changes the font. This here also shows you the size of the font. So this is 1.8 inches, and now it's at 2 inches. So I'm going to just click OK. So you can move this around. You can make this any size that you want to make it. You can change the color if you're doing some graphic work and you're going to use it as some graphic. But for t-shirts, it's not going to matter because the vinyl would be the color well, the text will be the color of vinyl that you select. But anyway, I'll show you how to change the color. If it's highlighted, if I go over here and I say I want it to be yellow, I can click on yellow and I can change that. Or I can say I want it to be red, and I can change that. Now the next box is clip art. So if I click here, there's all type of clip art that you can select from. And if you look on the left-hand side over here, they have it broken down into categories. So if you wanted to do, let's say schools, we'll click on schools. And we should have a selection of different schools, but I don't see it. Let's click on something else. Let's just click on, let's go with graduation. So we'll click here, and I can open that up, and now I can use that in here. But if you notice, these are what you call vector images. So which means that they break apart. And this white here, I'm going to change the color so we can see it as we work with it. So I can move this, and I can set this off in there. So those are your clip art. Now let's say that you wanted to select something on the website, well, on Google, and you want to bring it in. You can go to Browse, and it's going to ask you where do you want to go and find your uh, your artwork that you want to bring in. So right now we're in download. So I'm just going to bring this artwork in just to show you that you can bring in. Let's see here. Please upload the file. Okay. That one didn't work, so let me try something else. I'll bring in, let's try this. It's in there somewhere. I don't know. Oh, there it is right here. There's something right here. I'm just going to delete that. But anyway, that's how you would bring any type of artwork from your computer or from online. So you can import. And then this is templates. The next block is templates. They have it broken down. Let's say that, and this is what is meant by vector. I am going to bring in, let's say, the basketball. I can open that. It's going to ask me, do I want to put it with the artwork I already have? And I'm going to say yes. And this is what is meant by it being a vector. So I can break this apart. So now what I want to do, I want to take all of this and put it together. I'm going to put this back, and I'm going to take Dallas, put it inside of here. And here, if you want to change put your name of your school there, you can. Because we have the bulldog there, let's see if we can find something that's related to a bulldog. We'll go back to templates. And this one here have 8 pages. Okay, let's see here. Let's go with, here's a bulldog. Let's bring this in. So I like this bulldog. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out Dallas. I have to do it this way. I'm going to take out Dallas. And I'm going to drop this bulldog in here. So I think I like that better. So that's what I mean by it's a vector image. So you can break it apart. And now once I have my artwork that I want, I'm going to get rid of this. Highlight, right click. Highlight, right click. So, but what I want to do is I want to save this. So I'll go to Save File. Once I go to Save File, I'm going to give it a name. I'm just going to name it Test 1. You have to name it before it would save it. So I'm going to save it. But also, I want to export it so I can take this and put it into GraphTech, which is the next step when it comes to making a t-shirt. But like I say, this can be used for graphic art, for posters, for flyers. So I'm going to just make this Test 1. And I'm going to make it a PNG. And I'm going to change the DPI to 600 if it would allow that. And then I'm going to export it. there was an error because there's something in this file here that it doesn't like. I don't know if it's the Bulldog. Let's get rid of the Bulldog and see. So let's try to export it again and see what happened. I don't know, there's something going on that it's giving me an error. So, but anyway, but that's how you would export it. Let me get rid of this. And I'm just going to bring something else in here just to show you how to export. So let's try to export this. Okay, that's what it would look like when it's exported. So now I can take this and I can create a t-shirt out of this. And I'll show you how we do that in GraphTech. But just to show you that this also can break apart. Each piece is separate. So that's a vector print. I mean a vector image. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to take this image that we just exported and I'll show you how we will make a t-shirt. Loaded our artwork from CADWork Live. We're going to open up GraphTech Studio. Now once we open up GraphTech Studio, what we will do is that we will now bring the artwork that we downloaded. Let's see here. Here it is. So we're going to grab our artwork. We're going to bring it into GraphTech. Let's see. We're going to make this smaller. So what you're seeing here is the size of what your vinyl is going to be. Now the typical size, well the standard size is a 12 by 20, 12 inches wide and 20 inches high. So this grid here represents a 12 by 20. And our artwork, we're going to make the artwork about let's make it 9.4. So this is our artwork. Now, each one of these blocks here represent 1 inch. So which means that we need for our artwork to be 1 inch from the side and 1 inch from the bottom. So we'll bring our artwork here. We got it 1 inch from the side, 1 inch from the bottom. Now the next thing we have to do, it is called tracing, because the cutter does not see colors, it only sees lines. So we have to trace this. So right now we're in the design page, and then what we're going to do is that we're going to go to the trace page, and here it says select trace area. So we will click on select trace area. We will select it, and then what we will do is we will trace it. See how you can see the yellow? Well, where you see this black, everything needs to be yellow. There's two ways to do that. One is we could deselect this check mark, which is under high pass filter, and see how now everything is yellow and you can still read it. That's one way of doing it. And the other way is using this slider as we slide it, but it still doesn't turn everything yellow. So what we could do is that we could click here and just take the numbers up, and as we take the numbers up, it will start to fill in the yellow. Well, the yellow will start to fill in the other colors like the red. But what we're going to do, we're going to just uncheck it, and that's what we're going to go with. And then you go here where it says trace, we click trace, we click on the black and remove the original work. We'll click on the original work, hit delete, because we don't need that anymore. Now this is what the cutter is going to see. But because we will be cutting from the back side of the vinyl, we need to rotate it to where it's backwards. So we would click and highlight, we will go up to object, we will go to mirror, we will go to flip horizontal, and that is what we will cut out. So now that we are at this point, now we can go to the cutter. So at this point, we're ready to cut. So what we're going to do now, we're going to load our media, which is the vinyl, and get ready to cut. One thing I forgot to show you, once we get it set up and it's ready to cut, this is the cutter. We will open up the cutter. We click here to open up the cutter. But see how the artwork doesn't look the same as it does on the design page, and that is because you always want to check this window here that looks like an F. We open this up and we need to change the size. So this needs to be a 12 by 20. But also if you look at it, it's rotated 90 degrees. So we need to change this to 0. And now we have the same look as we have here. This is what it's supposed to look like. So it's always important to check that second page to make sure that the design page dimensions are the same as the second page. So now we're going to send it to the cutter, and the cutter is saying load your media. So we're going to go and load our vinyl. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to load our vinyl, and this is the 12 by 20 that we put into the height and the width. So we're going to load this. And once we get it lined up, there is a latch over here on the back side. When I pull the latch up, these two rollers goes down, lock it in. So I'm going to bring the camera around so you can see this. So what it's doing is asking me to make a selection, and we're going to press 3 because we're using a sheet and not a roll. So we press 3. It just measured the width, now it's measuring the length. And now it says that it's processing, it's ready. So we'll go back over to the computer. It's saying that it's ready, and we will send to cutter. So now we send it to the cutter. This cutter cuts real fast, so it doesn't take long. It's done. So now we'll go and do the next step. So our next step is to do what is called weeding. But before I do that, I need to trim off this part of the vinyl that we can still use. So I'm just going to cut this off because we can still use the remaining of this. Now this part is called weeding. So what you will do is you will separate the back side from the front side. So I will just take this and separate. Some vinyl is very easy to weed, and some vinyl can be a little more difficult, but none of it is hard. Anybody can do this. We get kids in here as young as 6, 7 years old, and they're able to pick this up and do it in no time. And when you first do this, you're going to feel kind of nervous because you don't know what is it that you're not supposed to be pulling off. But over time, you'll become more comfortable with it, and it doesn't become difficult as it was when you first did it. So now what we're going to do is weed out some of the part that we don't want to stay. And let's see here. I think we'll take this out. And a lot of times what I will do is I will print a picture of my artwork if I've never done it before, just so I know what to take out and what to leave. Okay, let's see here. I think I'll take this out. I'm going to bring the camera over on the other side, and I think you might be able to see it better. So let's try it from this side. Try taking this out. Let's see here. Younger people does this much easier because they can just see it much better. Let's see if we're missing anything. We just may have it all. That's it. Oh, missing an O. So you just have to really there's a little dot, very small dot in there I would like to keep if I can. May not be able to. No, just take it out. I think that's it. So now what we'll do, we'll put it on we'll press it onto a shirt so you can see that process. Okay, the next step we're going to do, we're going to turn on the heat press, and we will put our shirt on here and press the artwork onto the shirt. It's setting at 85. We need for it to get up to 320 at 20 seconds. So we're going to press it at 320 degrees and for 20 seconds. So we're going to let this count up to 320, and then we'll be ready to press. Okay, now that the heat press is setting at 320, we're going to take our t-shirt and we're going to pre-press it, and that is to take the moisture out of the shirt so it will last longer as far as the artwork. And I'm going to take my shirt and the neckline, I'm going to drop it over the edge so it doesn't press the neckline. I'll slide it in. I'll bring the heat press down, and I'm going to press it for 5 seconds. Let's just pre-press it. Then I'll bring my shirt back out. Now I will put my artwork on. So now I'll take my artwork put it on top, and now I'm going to slide it straight and pull this back off. And I want my artwork to be at least 3 fingers from the neckline. Put the neckline back over the edge. I'm going to slide it in. This time I will bring it down for the full 20 seconds. And you have what is called cold peel and hot peel. Cold peel is that you wait until it cool down to peel it. And a hot peel is that you can peel it as soon as you take it from under the heat press. And the way you'll know the difference is that if you start to peel it and it start to come up, that means it's a cold peel. So this one is a hot peel. So we can peel this right off. And this is our shirt. So we slide this back in so we get a better picture. So this is the full process. So like I say, this does not take long to learn how to do, and it's a great way to be able to produce and monetize a product. And thank everybody for watching.